Did someone lace your weed, or did you forget we're back with another video? Okay, so why do people tend to hide a certain part of themselves while they're dating or getting romantic with somebody? Yes, this video is about how to spot a DL man, but however, people tend to hide certain parts of themselves in general while they're dating somebody. You know what I mean? It doesn't only have to be DL. It could be kids, you know, they don't have money. You know, it could be anything. You know, people tend to hide a lot of stuff in relationship. It could be due to the fact, like, if they was to tell you straight up, you might not really mess with them. This situation is a little bit different because it's like, obviously, if I'm a heterosexual woman and I'm talking to who I think is a heterosexual man, and the whole time you're not heterosexual, you know, I mean, that's a little bit more complicated because it's just like you're not even really sexually attracted to me. But you know how society is and everything, you know, like how they kind of like to view men who are gay, especially if you're a masculine man. But nonetheless, this applies to all. Like I said, I like to make this like a whole gender neutral type thing. You feel me? Like, this applies to everybody, okay? People can't just hide in a certain part of themselves while they're dating. So let's get into this.
Jordan is on the down low. If this came across your timeline. And for my non-black viewers, because I don't want to hear you say it, your man is probably on the down low too. Now, I got a whole man in this bed right now, and I used to be a DL myself. So I'm going to show you how you can spot a DL man from a mile away.
So the first time I ever heard about men on the down low, I think I heard it on an old episode of the Oprah Winfrey Show. This was like 64,000 years ago. And it was a man by the name of J.L. King. I'll never forget his name. J.L. King, who was talking about being on the down low. So for those of you who don't know what the DL is, or living life on the DL is, it's when a heterosexual man, and I'm going to put my quote fingers up there for those of you who are listening and don't see me doing it.
Rightfully
a
so.
heterosexual man says that
so.
he enjoys having sexual relations with another man. But they usually keep it very covert. It's secret. It's undercover. Nobody knows. They're not coming out as bisexual because they don't view themselves as being bisexual. They view themselves as being straight, but they just like having sex with men.
Are you gay?
How you gonna ask me a question like that?
That part.
I'm just a man who enjoys having sex with another man.
That part. So a lot.
That's bisexuality. I'm not gonna lie. I don't even speak too much on sexuality, but when it comes to that, I feel like, yes, there's different levels to it. Some people are like, they're open to dating both genders. Some people are only open to be sexually active with the same gender. But that does not make you like 100. You know, it's a spectrum, y'all. It's a spectrum, okay? And everybody's at a different point of the spectrum. Some people have the phrase, nobody's 100% on one side of the spectrum. Like, nobody's 100% gay, nobody's 100% heterosexual, wherever the case might be. You know what I mean? But I personally feel like if you like to have sexual relations with the same gender, that does make you bi. At least sexually bisexual. You know what I mean? Like, maybe not like romantically dating wise bisexual, but you are a sexual bisexual. You see what I did there? Yeah, that's how I feel.
Women online have expressed some serious concerns about their men being potentially on the down low. Now, they have their reasons for it. I don't think these are just women who are just like looking at their husbands or their boyfriends and going,
I wonder if he's on the down low.
There are certain things that they're seeing, certain attitudes, certain traits that they're exhibiting, which make them question whether their men are truly heterosexual or if they are tinkering with the same side. Well, there's this TikToker who says that he knows the ways that you ladies can determine if your man is on the DL. So this is going to be very interesting. I have not watched this in its entirety because I like to be shocked like you are.
You know, I didn't even know that. I thought DL kind of meant you're in the closet. But yeah, I think in today's society, what it mainly means, like, oh, your man is DL, that means like it's a man who's like in a relationship with a woman, but he DL'd, right? He DL'd.
So we're going to get right into it in this reaction video. By the way, my name is Rogan. This is the This Made Me Gal podcast. On my platform, I do social commentary and reaction videos. I encourage my audience to have private conversations in public. Lego.
Love me or hate me, God knows you made it when he let his eyes on me.
Now, you know, I like the jam.
Your niggas on the down low. If this came across your timeline. And for my non-black viewers, because I don't want to hear you say it, your man is probably on the down low too. Now, I got a whole man in this bed right now, and I used to be a DL myself. So I'm going to show you how you can spot a DL man from a mile away. Now, I woke up to this many comments and Jesus Devante Christ from women saying that DL men smell like booty. He smells like booty. Now, the search of that video being DL man smell is crazy. But here are some actual signs. And do y'all mind if I dye my hair while we do this?
No, sir, we don't mind if you dye your hair. I'm interested in that process. But he says he has a whole man in the bed right now. So I take it that he is no longer on the DL. He's just out of the closet and is just fully gay.
You know, that's a good point. You see, like I said, I learned, you learned, we all learned, right? Because just because a dude is DL, that doesn't mean he doesn't like females as well. You feel me? Like, some dudes full-blown don't like females and will date a female for a cover-up. But, like, some guys are DL and they still like to date women. They just a man who likes to have sex with another man. You know what I mean? And it's funny because, like, in society, when it comes to stuff like this, it's really the man that's focused. Like, for females, y'all ever heard, like, a DL female issue? Nah, because, like, if a girl is, like, bisexual, it's okay. It's cool, actually. Oh, girl on girl activity, yay. Like, you know, society normalizes that a lot. But when it comes to men, it's like, it takes a shot at their masculinity. If you're a man that likes another man, that kind of shows you're not as masculine as a heterosexual man. Because I can see that, but like I said, it's a double standard. Because a man that likes somebody who likes a man, that's a woman trait. But on the flip side, right, as a woman, if you like other women, is that not like a masculine trait? But no, it's not seen that way. The double standards are real.
Embracing that.
DL men smell like booty. I'm gonna have to stop you right there. I know I said on the last video that you could smell it when one shows up. But where y'all went with that is actually homophobic and is no different than me saying all women smell like period blood or that y'all can't drive. Them is stereotypes. When I was DL,
I don't understand is what they will say they smell like us.
you know what actually gave me away? And I actually had somebody clock me on this? The comment section. Now, back in the day when IG was messy and would tell you what your friends would comment on people's pictures, that's exactly how I got caught. By my best friend's girlfriend. She said she knew the second she saw what I commented. Now, while you're on social media, go ahead and check the following list too. If the guy to girl ratio is off, and he follows more pretty dudes than pretty ladies, I got news for you. Now, speaking of best friends, if he treats the bros better than he treats women, if he spends more time with them than he does with you, he's DL. You're not gonna like me for this one, but most black men that only white girls are DL. They come knocking on my door usually. This is a big one. Is he a hoe? If he has at least 3 kids with multiple women, Now, in my
chill.
Hooked up with just under 1,000 people. Never had an STD. Thank you, Jesus. We've all been hoes before, but there's a certain level of that we all men do because you just can't scratch that itch.
Did he just say 1,000? Let me get my full Bahamian accent. He say 1,000?
Look, man, I just want to say this before we get into it because I'm getting a lot of chills right now. Wait, no, I'm getting a lot of chills right now. Wait, hold on. If a dude have, I don't know. There's so many. Okay, like the whole baby mama thing. That look at NBA YoungBoy. Is he DL? You know what I mean? So like, I just want to say this. Like, this is not applicable to all people. I just want to say that. And there's a lot of people that got multiple baby mamas. You know what I mean? By multiple women. So, are they DL? I don't know. You see, we just gotta be a little bit careful. Or like the whole, did he only have sex with white women? I mean, that could only be his preference. You know, if I only have sex with black dudes, like, am I DL? You know what I mean? So it's just like, I don't know.
Let me run that back real quick. Hold on, because I making my notes. I hope y'all ladies making y'all notes. Let me run that back.
Making mental notes.
Let me run that back real quick. I'ma run it back real quick. I'ma run it back real quick.
Bro.
I'ma run it back real quick.
Now, in my DL days, I've probably hooked up with just under 1,000 people. Never had an STD. Thank you, Jesus. We've all been hoes before, but there's a certain level of that DL men do because you just can't scratch that itch. Which brings me to my next point. Strong feelings towards women. A lot of men hate women, but you already know that. Now I'm talking he hates his mom, his sisters. He competes with women. He's mean to women, but nice to men. Because some people are just mean to everybody. There's a reason he doesn't have good relationships with women. Red flag. Now back to the friends. If he has a friend that doesn't like you or treats you weird, that's the one he's... You the side piece. You're in the way of their relationship. You the cover, baby. Now this one's obvious. We all can recognize this. Macho men. If he says, yo, I ain't with that gay shit. Yeah, I'm cool with you, but keep the gay shit over there to one of your gay friends. He's one of your gay friends.
Ooh, let me stop right there. He is preaching. Preaching. I have gay friends, and they will tell you a lot of these guys, the ones who are so macho, I can't stand this. They use the F word, not the F-U word.
Look, I feel like I play devil's advocate way too much. But I'm just going to say, let's think about how somebody was raised. Like, if I had a dad, let's say I'm a man, and my dad's dad kind of like, he raised my dad's dad. But am I saying this right? Wait, no. Let's say my grandfather raised my dad in a way like, don't do that, don't do that, don't do none of that. You know, that's conditioning. That's conditioning. I'm just gonna say this. And then my dad grows up and he's on that same type of time, like, oh, I don't like that gay stuff. So I'm the son. I'm the next generation son, and it's like now I'm conditioned. I'm just gonna say this. This could be parental conditioning as well. I just want to play devil's advocate. You see, I sound like a girl who's dating a DL dude, but like, I play advocate way too much. I'm advocating way too much. But nah, I just want to give a flip side to this because I don't want people to hear this and be like, oh my gosh. Like, it's not a one size fits all type of situation, you heard?
Rhymes with hag, that word, hate that word. They use that word all the time. Oh, these, you know what, rhymes with maggots. Oh, they be the main ones. One of my friends, a guy, showed me a fella who, if you saw this dude, he looks like I will body slam the world. He was big, tall, very masculine, like uber masculine, like kind of hood kind of guy. Like if you saw him, you'd be like, oh, that's like a real man's man, that type of guy. He was into men. But on the surface, he would criticize gay men. He would talk trash about gay men. I mean, like belittle them in the front of his friends, his boys, whatever. But he was into men heavy. Ooh, young man, you are preaching. He is preaching all these things, what he's saying. And these are things that we as women say online as well, right? Or with our friends, like, why does this guy hate women so much? Why do you hate women so much?
I think in general, it's just important to study somebody's behavior. In general, I think especially in the beginning, like while you're dating somebody, study patterns, study the reactions, study what they say, like literally study this whole other person. And I'm not saying to say this, study a person to see the deal. Study them in general. Like, I think a lot of times you miss the signs or whatever in the beginning, and then like it's years later or just like some time later, and we're all surprised like, I never saw this coming. And then when you come to your senses, because you know when you like somebody, there's a lot of noise going on in your head. There's a lot of noise like, oh, it's not a big of a deal. I'm not gonna address it or whatever the case might be. And it's like, let's be so for real for a second. It's a lot of noise. When you step out of that noise and you really start analyzing with a logical brain, it's like, okay, wait. The signs have always been there. So this is just a message to everybody. Like, signs, they be there. And just because there's a sign, that doesn't mean it directly indicates you something. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying if you see this directly means this. I'm not saying that either. I'm not saying that, but it's good to be cautious.
It's like it's an animosity that is unexplainable. And it's like they have a deep-seated, deep-rooted hatred for women. Everything what this guy is saying is so freaking relatable. Let's continue. But I just had to stop on that one because when my friend pointed out this man, I was like, there's no way. Yes, and listen, my gay dog.
Yes, way.
Needs to be finely
I have a terrible
But
gaydar.
when I hear men, it's usually like a red flag. It's a tell for me when they're like super, like, because to me, if you are a straight man, you don't like gay men, it won't be all this energy. It won't be all this fire. It won't be all this heat. You know what I'm saying? It will not be all of that. It's like, okay, I don't like them. I don't like their lifestyle. You know, nah, I'm good. And just keep it moving. But like when you see like there's like a protracted,
I can give her that because I feel like a heterosexual man, like if they see two guys kissing, they're like, yeah, I'm not really feeling that. But then there's the guys that start crashing out like, oh, I hate that. And it's just like, you know, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I feel like there's more things in life to be like pissed off about, crashing out about, and you crashing out about that. Like, I get if you don't agree with it, cool. But it's just like you doing all this thing. At the end of the day, that's not your life. It's theirs. Or maybe that is the life you want to live. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? The science is there. I wonder how we can flip this around, because we only say this about when it comes to like like a hidden sexuality. But what if like it's like that in general? Like, let's say a girl wants to be a hoe. You see, I ain't thinking about this, huh? Let's say a girl like she wants to be a hoe, but when she go out the club, she see the hoes. You know, they got the outfit, they throwing it back on somebody, they leaving the end of the night with somebody, and they hate on them like this hoe ass. You see, they need to get more. They need to do this, that, and that. They either don't like hoes because maybe a crush that they had got stolen by a hoe, or they secretly want to be one. Like I said, we can make this very universal. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say whatever you secretly want to be, you show outward hate towards it in general.
spewing of venom because they just hate gay men or they just hate gay people, I'd be like, something up here.
Like, are you good, Mud?
You're protesting too much.
Are you good, Mud?
Young man, you die looking good. Let's keep going. Woo, but that one right, I had to stop on that one right there.
Now back to the friends. If he has a friend that doesn't like you or treats you weird, that's the one you the side piece. You're in the way of their relationship. You the cover, baby.
Sorry, I have to stop it. This is a reaction video. That really is a red flag. Because if you are a woman with a man, and your man, this is your dude, his best friend always having beef with you, whether you marry.
For no reason. I'm gonna say for no reason though, because there's some situation, like, let's say I was a dude and I had a guy friend and like he's with a girl who be cheating on him. Yeah, I wouldn't really be feeling her neither. Or with a girl who be like calling him out his name, be mistreating him. Yeah, I wouldn't be feeling him. But like, if one of my homeboys treating my girl nasty for no reason, that's a red flag. Because it's just like, what's up with that? You know, that's weird.
To them, or you just dating or whatever. His friend always have an attitude with you. Why is that person still your friend? Unless the woman is super duper problematic. And most men, men I know would be like, nah, I just don't even want to be in that person's space. But they're not going to be beefing with you. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to be beefing with you. And why?
I don't know, because some guys really ride hard, like, for their bros, especially if they're, like, brothers. And, like, even be, like, if I'm a female, like, my girl with a dude that's, like, really trashy. I mean, it gets to a point, like, you know, it's her life. You know what I mean? But it's, like, I really wouldn't be feeling him. Like, it probably gets to a point, like, you already know how I feel. You know what I mean? But it's, like, I can get it, like, bro, get out of this. Like, you need to get with somebody else. Like, this girl cheating, like, trying to save the bro. You know, from a hoe. Trying to save the bro. And girls be trying to save their girls from, like, a cheating ass. A dude who ain't worth their time. You know what I mean? I could see the over passion. Because some people love hard. Not even just, like, romantically, like, in general. People be having, like, really hard love for certain people. And they don't play about it. So that's why they kind of be overly passionate about certain stuff.
Would your man be okay with his guy friend beefing with his lady? At some point, the dude should check his friend, right?
Yeah.
And be like, hey, you ain't talking to my woman like that. If he just kind of like hands off and he just letting that happen, you are the side piece, like this guy saying. You got it, boo.
Yeah.
You got it, boo, and your hair dye is looking good. Let's keep going.
What's actually funny, straight married men are the gayest men I know. Most straight men spend most of their time with their girlfriends or their wives. They no clock it. They be kikiing with their girl. They'll watch baddies with their girl and act like they wasn't even into the show. Ones that are afraid to look gay or be even remotely close to femininity, it's DL.
I don't know about the most. I do believe a lot of married men who profess to be straight are gay. Absolutely. You know something? And I said this on my platform years ago. It's like,
I'm not gonna lie, that's a very scary thing to say. Like, most straight men are gay. I know, no, most straight married men are gay. That's very concerning. Like, I come from a 2-parent household. Like, I know other 2-parent households. Just to say a statement like that, let's be very careful. I'm not gonna lie, because that's kind of like saying the marriages that we have today. A lot of the men are like DL, and it's like that. I don't know. I would be careful saying something like that.
I'd rather you just go and be gay. I know for a lot of you, you don't want the societal backlash, or you don't want to have to deal with your family members or your friends like having an attitude with you coming out the closet, but go live your life truthfully.
Absolutely.
Go live your life truthfully. Why get involved in a relationship, a marriage especially? And you don't want women, you don't like women, you're not attracted to women. That's not what does it for you. There's also the option of abstinence and just being by yourself, You don't have to fall into those categories. You could just be like, I'm attracted to men, but I don't want to live a gay lifestyle, so I'm just gonna, go my way. You could do that too.
That's valid.
I'm just gonna be by myself.
That's
You could do
valid.
that as well. But why lie? But a lot of married men handle.
Yes, to everybody, there's just so many different ways you can handle a situation. You don't have to drag people into it. You don't have to put up this whole facade. They don't ever feel like there's only one option. There's only one option, just a gun to your head. They're just like, no gun to your head, like your life not on the line. Like, there's other ways. And don't you, can we do an active effort to not choosing the way that involves, like, ruining a whole nother person's life? Just think before we do.
Lie. I can't give you a percentage because I haven't polled every married man on the planet, but I can tell you there's a lot of them just living on the down low because they don't want to live with the societal backlash or the family backlash. They don't want to deal with any of that stuff. Anyway, drop your comments down below. Let me know what you think, because this was such a good little. I'm going to tag him down below too. This was so fun.
All right, so I guess those are the signs how everybody was able to get a different point of view of this conversation, and like I said, this video wasn't only for men, females, everybody in between. You know what I mean? So it's just like, hopefully y'all got what y'all needed to hear, and make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Catch y'all next time.